Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. There are a few topics that I want to get into in this video, but I first want to start off by talking about the R&B singer August Alsina. August recently did an interview with Vulture, and he finally broke his silence on Jada and Will's latest Red Table Talk episode. Now, just to give you all a backstory, a few weeks ago, August shocked the public when he revealed that Will Smith gave him his blessing to have an affair with Jada. The interview prompted Jada and Will to address August's claims, and Jada admitted on the latest episode of her show Red Table Talk that she did have a relationship, or as she calls it, an entanglement with August while she was separated from Will. When August was asked about his entanglement with Jada, he said, "I don't know why that word is such an issue. I would agree with Jada. If you look up the definition of entanglement, it is a complex and difficult relationship. It was exactly that. I think it's just the language that probably stuck out to people, but I definitely have to agree with it being an entanglement. It definitely was something complicated and a complicated dynamic." He also told the reason why he spoke up about his relationship with Jada. He said, "People looked at me as this problematic guy who was super reckless, like I'm pushing up on somebody's wife. I didn't really like that. I didn't like the sound of that, especially when it wasn't the truth. I think because people didn't have the truth, it allowed them to view me and my character a certain type of way. And that started to really eat at my soul, but deeper than that, it started to mess with my partnerships and business relationships and money because people were seeing me as this reckless guy who's like publicly announcing his love and pushing up on somebody's wife. This is really the reason why I felt the need to speak my truth. A lot of those people in partnerships came back around and apologized, like, 'Oh, I'm sorry, my bad, I didn't really know.' But yeah, you're absolutely right. I never talk about my relationships because I don't think it's important, but my livelihood is important because I have 3 kids to take care of now, and I didn't like how that started to tamper with my life and finances." So this is the real reason why August opened up about his relationship with Jada. It's because his bag was being stopped, and he had nothing to lose at that point, so he decided to tell the truth. So I don't blame him for speaking up about it, but it definitely caused a lot of drama and a lot of speculation, and a lot of people were giving Jada the side eye, but August said he didn't regret his relationship with Jada, and he also said that Jada did not prey on him like a lot of us think she did. He said that it was a situation that just happened, and he said that he would never go after somebody else's woman, but the situation happened, and he has no regrets because he felt like he got a chance to experience true love. And by the way, August still loves Jada.
Look, man,
you miss her? You still love her?
Absolutely.
I was just keep it gay, keep it
yeah.
1,000, like.
But look. I mean, absolutely. I feel like when you experience a certain type of experience on this planet, and you experience a certain type of love, you I will always have love for her as a person. You know what I'm saying?
Child, August is still not over that entanglement. Anyway, I do want to move on and talk about a more serious topic. The R&B singer and reality star Tamar Braxton was rushed to the hospital for an overdose, and reports are saying that this was a possible attempt to take her life. According to The Blast, her boyfriend David found her unresponsive and said that Tamar was drinking and she took an unknown amount of prescription pills. He said he believed that she was trying to take her life. A source close to The Blast said that Tamar has threatened to take her life several times in the past year, so it was no surprise that this incident happened, and her family is taking this very seriously. Tamar is now currently in a stable condition at the hospital, but she is being held on a 24-hour watch to ensure her safety and full recovery, and I do pray that she makes a full recovery. But this story is very disturbing. It's very disturbing to me because you never really know what a person is going through. You could follow somebody on social media and think everything is okay, but something like this comes up. And when I read this story, I was very alarmed. And I'm not just concerned about Tamar, but I'm concerned about everybody else who who's going through the same thing. If you're dealing with certain pressures and you feel like you need to take your life, I want to tell you, your life is extremely valuable. So please don't take your life. God put you here for a purpose. I just wanted to say that for anybody watching this video, your life matters. Now, there has been some questions as to why Tamar would try to take her life. But according to The Blast, Tamar has been going through a difficult time. They said that Tamar has been extremely emotional due to the ongoing contract dispute with WeTV. If you don't know, Tamar has a show on WeTV called The Braxton Family Values with her sisters Toni, Tawanda, Tracy, and Trina. And the sisters have been very discontent with the network because they feel like they've been cheated out of a lot of money. In fact, there was a point where some of the sisters went on a strike against WeTV and said that they won't be filming any more episodes until they're able to renegotiate their contract and get more money. But they haven't had any success with their negotiations. And some days ago, Tamar did go on Twitter and she kind of exposed the network for underpaying her and her sisters. She said, "Are we going to talk about pay? I 100% wrote the theme song. Where is the coin? Our show is on Netflix. Where is the coin? 10 years on the air. We make 75% less than the Kardashians. How come there are no villains on that show?" Tamar also tweeted this in response to a fan saying, "Your post is exactly what I'm talking about. I too feel the same. It used to be funny and fun, but some will say, well, you actually said or did the negative things. True, but now true. It's the context, and that's why they do it, to ruin your credibility." And she also said, "And still more drama till this day, but that's what happens when it's all white executives having all the power and telling your black family stories. I will get justice for my family and all other black reality shows with the narrative of ABP and negativity. It's terrible and I'm tired." So that was Tamar's comments about her situation with WeTV, and apparently this has been affecting her financially and emotionally. So right now Tamar has had it with WeTV, and I do believe the final straw for Tamar was when WeTV showed the trailer for her new reality show Get Your Life. And according to sources from The Blast, Tamar was actually very upset with the way that she was portrayed in the trailer because it showed her throwing tantrums and having meltdowns behind the scenes, and she was very blindsided by it because this is her reality show, yet she has no control of how she's being portrayed. And Tamar kind of feels like she's being exploited by the network because for years WeTV has been able to capitalize off of Tamar's brash and unpredictable behavior. But sometimes the network can make a person look like the villain for ratings. And Tamar is really at a place where she's trying to rebrand herself, and she no longer wants to be portrayed as this drama-filled diva. And she's tired of fighting with her family. She's tired of her family being exploited on TV. And unfortunately, because her family signed the contract, they have to follow through with it. And it's really sad because they brought a lot of money to WeTV. The Braxton Family Values franchise is very profitable, yet they've been hardly seeing any of the profit. And this financial strain has been very stressful for Tamar and the other Braxton sisters. But Tamar was especially affected by it, and she really wanted to end it all because of it. Now, someone from her family sent a disturbing DM to The Blast, and this was Tamar's last message before she was hospitalized. She said, "I am a slave. I do not own my life, my stories, my pictures, my thoughts or beliefs. I've asked my master to free me. I'm threatened and punished for it. The only way I see out is death. I will choose that before I continue to love like this. Please help me." And she changed her Twitter caption to Tamar Slave Braxton. So this is very serious. I don't know why her family member would leak this information, but it's clear that Tamar was not in a good mental space at all. And I do think it's really heartbreaking that she would attempt to leave her son Logan behind. She had to be in a really dark place to want to do that. And I think it goes deeper than her contractual issues with WeTV. I definitely think it's a combination of things. This is a spiritual attack, And not only that, Tamar has gone through a lot in her life, even back to her childhood. She opened up about the abuse she faced as a child, and she carried that hurt and that pain as an adult. And I don't think she ever got the proper healing for what happened to her as a child. Not to mention, Tamar has had a lot of major setbacks in the past few years. She went from losing her job at The Real to losing other opportunities to have her own talk show, and she was dropped from her label, and she lost her marriage, and she lost close friends and loved ones. So there's a lot going on with Tamar, and I think the buildup of all of this drama, including her financial and contractual issues with WeTV, has led her to the point where she wants to end it all. And this is really an example of why people need to really focus on their mental health, because a lot of things can break people mentally, and it can lead them to do things that they would never think to do. And I don't believe that Tamar would have ever found herself in a position where she wanted to end it all and leave behind her son. And honestly, it's really sad, but reports from the blast said that she is in a stable condition, meaning her vitals are stable, so that is a relief. And Nene Leakes said that she spoke with Tamar. She said, when you're a strong person, you manage stress differently. People tend to judge the outside strength on the inside abilities to cope. A lot of strong people cry in the dark and hurt alone. I talk to Tamar often, spoke to her yesterday and tried to pull her through this moment. Spoke to her and David today. I say that to say, check on your strong friends. Try not to judge so much. Know that there are people being treated wrong for real, and it's really painful. I know Tamar is going to get through this, but please pray for her strength. Tamar's family hasn't really spoken out about Tamar's condition. However, Tamar's sister Tracy did make a post on Instagram urging people to pray for her family. And Mariah Carey even made a post on Twitter saying, Tamar, I love you and I'm praying for you. Also, the actress Viola Davis posted a tweet in support of Tamar saying, praying for Tamar Braxton. Mental health has got to be a part of our wokeness. There is strength in vulnerability. You matter, Miss Tamar Braxton. Praying for you, your beautiful son, and family. This whole situation with Tamar does kind of tie in to what Nick Cannon is currently going through right now as well. Earlier this week, Nick Cannon faced a lot of backlash for the comments he made on his podcast. He was accused of making racist statements and also promoting anti-Semitic conspiracies.
Our melanin is so powerful, and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it. They said, we want what you got, because there's this mentality of we have to conquer.
Right.
We are having hate speech when it's never hate speech, when it's not.
Right.
You can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people, when we are the same people that who they want to be. Mm-hmm. That's our birthright.
That's our birthright.
Now, Nick Cannon did say multiple times in his podcast that his speech was not meant to be hateful. He's going off what he believes to be true. However, some of the things he was saying was controversial, and I can't play it in this video, but this podcast caused him to be dropped from Viacom and CBS, and unfortunately, he doesn't have ownership of his show Wild 'N Out, so he was dropped from that as well, and this was a huge blow to Nick. And Nick did end up apologizing for his comments, and he announced that he was doing a sit-down interview with a respected rabbi to reach an understanding, but people were calling him a sellout for doing that. People even called him a sellout for apologizing because they felt like if he was going to stand in what he said, why would he backtrack now? But what people don't realize is he's not just trying to salvage his business relationships, but he is literally fighting for his life, his family, and his livelihood because he made some comments that he probably should have kept to himself. Nick was not prepared to face this type of backlash, and the industry is making an example out of him, and he's really going through a tough battle spiritually. This is the same thing that Tamar is going through as well because she exposed the network, and now she's dealing with this mess with her mental health. Now, Nick did post some cryptic tweets on Twitter that were a little concerning. He said, I hurt an entire community and it pained me to my core. I thought it couldn't get any worse. Then I watched my own community turn on me and call me a sellout for apologizing. Good night. Enjoy Earth. Y'all could have this planet. I am out. Now, this is a clear sign that Nick is not okay and he's not in the best mental state. So I do think people have to be sensitive to that. And I think people in general have to be sensitive to people who are going through things mentally. And what Viola Davis said is so true. Mental health has to be a part of our wokeness. The Black community has to start focusing more on mental health issues because this is one of the ways that we could heal as a community. Not only that, I think it's very important to have ownership and not sign your soul away in a contract and have people take everything from you, everything you worked for, in attempts to silence you. It's important to have ownership. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.